Hello and welcome to Daily Bees on VTV News. Thank you for tuning in. First of all, let's look at today's headlines. Economic growth projected to reach about 7% in 2021. Contactless payments with Visa increased by 5 times in Vietnam. We'll begin with some updates from the stock market. Vietnamese shares continued rallying on Tuesday's session, with blue chips remaining the center of attention. The benchmark VN index on the Ho Chi Minh Stock Exchange rose 12.92 points to end at 827.57 points. The blue chip tracker VN30 index was up 10.36 points to 768.22 points. On the Hanoi Stock Exchange, the HNX index added 2.08 points to close Tuesday's session at 112.5 points. The Upcom index for unlisted public companies gained 0.39 points to 55.89 points. Next, we have the top 5 gainers and top 5 losers of the market. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has issued a directive on building plans for socio-economic development and a state budget estimate for 2021, with a target of about 7% of economic growth for the year. Apart from the 7% growth of the national economy in 2021, the targets also include an increase of about 9 to 11% in budget revenue from domestic production and business activities compared to the estimated collection in 2020. The targeted increases for each locality will depend on their specific conditions, characteristics and development speed. Meanwhile, revenue from import-export activities in 2021 is projected to rise by about 4 to 6% over the results in 2020. Experts have raised concerns that Vietnamese businesses have been slow in preparing conditions for the preferential tariffs in the Vietnam-EU Free Trade Agreement, or EVFTA. The EVFTA took effect on the 1st of August, but only 2% of 8,600 local enterprises know the details of the FTA, and only 20% of them know about the agreement at all. It's crucial that they understand the content of the agreement and its conditions. Several textile enterprises are choosing whether or not to meet the rules of origin to enjoy the preferential tariffs in the FTA. At present, the bulk of materials used by Vietnamese textile enterprises is imported from China, so if they do not change suppliers, their products will not be able to satisfy the origin requirements stated in the EVFTA. International trade will be reduced by 20% this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In order to adapt to the current situation, many enterprises and business associations have come up with measures such as market transition and 3D fairs to help enterprises continue to connect with foreign partners.
Quang has been showing her products via video and photos to her company's foreign partners. However, it was not until the appearance of the 3D fair in an online platform that she fully realized the effectiveness of technological applications.
I used to only show our signature products to our partners, as it was impossible to send photos of thousands of products. But now customers can get access to photos of all products in the 3D showroom.
According to the Handicraft and Wood Industry Association of Ho Chi Minh City, online 3D fairs will not only help enterprises connect with foreign partners during the pandemic, but it will also ignite a long-term plan of digitalization for hundreds of enterprises.
We currently have 50 showrooms with 500 products on this platform. When a customer clicks on a product, the platform will connect to the e-commerce website of the business. Thus, it is crucial for businesses to develop an e-commerce website.
This garment business has lost 90% of export orders due to the pandemic. However, in recent months, thanks to the transition of investment to the domestic market, it has offset 50% of the export gap.
In the meantime, we will need to focus on the design to offer our products to supermarkets or fashion brands. The domestic market is indeed not small. We just do not know how to fully exploit it.
A survey by HSBC of 1,400 enterprises worldwide shows that 50% of Asian enterprises are well prepared to face the challenges posed by the pandemic, which is higher than the 38% figure of other regions. The report also showed that Vietnamese enterprises have been utilizing technology to respond to challenges.
According to an industrial production report released by the Ministry of Industry and Trade, footwear's export turnover for the first 7 months of this year reached $9.53 billion, down 7.9% compared to the same period last year. The main reason behind this is the COVID-19 pandemic. The decline also means that footwear has left the top of export items worth over $10 billion. Currently, the EU is a traditional market for the Vietnam leather and footwear industry, accounting for nearly 30% of export turnover, or nearly $6 billion per year. Now let's check out the exchange rates of the Vietnamese đồng against other currencies in the world market today. According to Visa Payments Technology Company, since the beginning of the year, Visa's contactless transactions in Vietnam have increased by 5 times compared to the same period last year. The total value of Visa's contactless transactions increased by over 600% in the same period. Contactless payments allowed customers to simply tap their card to pay without having to give their card to the cashier. This is a quick and safe payment method, especially in the context of a pandemic. Several supermarket chains in Hanoi are making sure they have a sufficient supply of essential goods during the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the Ministry of Industry and Trade. To prepare for an increase in demand, supermarkets have increased their stock of goods by 3 to 5 times. Accordingly, the amount of reserved goods is ready to meet the demand even if the outbreak gets worse. Several large supermarket chains have a supply of goods that will last until December this year. Retailers are also focused on reserving protective goods such as masks and hand sanitizer. In addition, the proportion of Vietnamese goods accounts for 90% in most supermarkets. The COVID-19 pandemic has severely decreased revenue for the Vietnam Airlines Corporation, or Vietnam Airlines, and the Airports Corporation of Vietnam, or ACV, in the second quarter of this year. Vietnam Airlines reported 6 trillion Vietnamese đồng in second quarter revenue, down nearly 70% from the previous quarter as a result of a month-long social distancing order in April and the ongoing suspension of international flights. Meanwhile, ACV recorded post-tax losses of over $15.8 million from April to June as its revenue plunged 77% from the same period last year to over 1.04 trillion Vietnamese đồng. ACV projected that the number of air passengers would fall by 41% year-on-year to 69.2 million in 2020, while the volume of cargo going through 21 airports across Vietnam would fall 13% to 1.34 million tons.